Hey, good morning. Good morning, you guys. I am so excited to be here with you today. It's been a minute since I've been here, and I learned very quickly on that first success formula that I haven't memorized. And when I read it, it messes me up. So, luckily, I took that into consideration on the last couple of them. So, just wanted to thank you guys again for letting me be here with you today. I'm so excited to be filling in for Jeremy and to be able to, share some thoughts with you that I have on my mind. But more importantly, I would love to see some gratitudes and victories that have happened for you this week. So please share them in the chat box. I think it's fun to see everything that you guys are doing and to see what's happening. So I'm going to put this up here because I want to see it. So, okay, you guys, I want to go ahead and get started today. I've had some really strong conversations these last couple of weeks in regards to the market being tough, or that the market is as hard as it's ever been. And I think we all can agree to that, and I think we can all say that we've all faced it to some level. And what I would encourage you is we are at the end of first quarter already for 2021. So not to be the Debbie Downer, but I think to the point of what we're talking to is this market, as one of my friends said to me yesterday, as I was talking to one of the brokers of the office, Alex Cornwall, he said, this market is taking more commitment and more discipline than it ever has before. And so my question to you guys would be, with us ending first quarter, have you taken the time to reevaluate your business? This is a market where you actually do have to pay attention to your skill sets, right? It is a market where, yeah, things are okay in the sense of, money's being made, lots of it, right? There's lots of deals there's a projection of 5 billion homes being sold this year, which means 5 billion homes, that's 10 billion sides. So hopefully you'll be a part of that, right? And so what I mean by that is, what are you doing to take this time in this market to make sure that your skill sets are where they need to be? So just some things that you might want to evaluate, and I'm just going to take you through a quick little exercise as I do all my coaching clients that I meet with, is it's time for you to really look at your business plan for 2021. If you're not looking at it on a regular basis, which you should be looking at it right consistently. You need to make sure that you're reevaluating at this time, because we are at the end of first quarter. You should be looking to see so number one, where are the sources of my business coming from? Again, number one, where are the sources of my business coming from? Number two, how many transactions have I closed for first quarter? Number three, are you on track for 2021? Are you doing what is necessary to make sure that your business is on track for 2021? All right. And then the fun thing that I always will have my coaching clients do is take how many deals you've done, and I want you to divide it by the hours you have spent with those clients so that you know what you're making on an everyday basis. Hours, like the dollars per hour, right? You should know what you're making on an everyday basis. Are you being efficient in 2021? To Alex's point, it's going to take more commitment, more discipline in everything that we do in our business to make sure that we are actually doing what we need to do. Okay, so with that being said, there's a couple things that I really want to talk to you about, because they're the skill sets that what I feel like are necessary for a successful agent in today's market. I think it's more critical than it's ever been. And there's things that I've seen from agents being frustrated with too many buyers, too many buyer leads, not enough inventory. I was talking to Amelia in California yesterday, 13 homes on the market in Ventura. So you guys, it is time to make sure that you are doing what's necessary to create the inventory, to go after the listings. What was fun for me is I had an agent just a couple weeks ago who joined our company, said to me, Linz, I wish I would have jumped on the Everest bandwagon a long time ago. Meaning he is now understanding that it's a market where he actually has to take listings if he wants to have true fulfillment in life. It's not saying that we don't want to work with the buyers. I'm not saying that by any means. We definitely have to, right? We want to serve those guys. At the same time, if you really want to succeed in the game of real estate right now, it's about owning the inventory and making sure that you are, as my mentor always said to me, the grocery store owner, not the grocery store or the shoppers at the grocery store. Right. So one of the things that I want to talk to is just some key skill sets that I really think are important in today's market that you really need to be honing in on if you're not already. And, you know, I know Rick and Ruby are on here who lead out our role play, you guys. It is critical to your success. So first and foremost, practice. Practice makes perfect. I love the statement that George and John will often share with us is every NFL football player practices for 60 minutes of 1 minute of playing time on the football field. 60 minutes as a professional in the business. You guys, these guys make millions. Okay, you have to practice. It is more critical in today's industry. You have to know what to say, how to say it, when to say it, right? You have to know how to negotiate, and that's another skill set that I'll talk to. But then the second skill set, efficient, I'm going to say that word even stronger, efficient and effective prospecting. Are you, I'm just going to propose this question to you. And I know most of you, I'm speaking to the choir because you're all on here on a Friday morning. Are you the agent who's calling back the lead they talked to yesterday? Or are you actually going after new business every single day? I just want to propose that thought to you. Efficient and effective prospecting. Are you also making sure that you're calling and prospecting for new lead generation every single day? Right? Or are we just calling the leads that we have? There's a quote by my mentor. He always said, quit trying to turn the rocks and dirt into gold. Right? You have to go out and find the gold. So are you actually taking time every single day to create and make sure that you're actually going after lead generation? A lot of the leads, you guys on the buyer side of things, I'm just going to say it for what it is. I know people won't love me for saying this, but most of you are calling the same buyers if you have lead generation. So are you going out? Are you actually going and searching for listings? Are you creating in the inventory? Are you going to become the grocery store owner, right? Not the shoppers coming in for the inventory. Okay. It's that whole, also that whole quality versus quantity. I have a lot of, I would say I have a couple lenders on my schedule that I coach. And one of my favorite things right now that I'm hearing from them is, and not that they're not willing to do this, but as myself, it frustrates me to hear them say this, is they are pre-qualifying your buyer leads. It is not their job to do that, you guys. It is your job to do that. So are you creating quality versus quantity? We can have all the quantity of conversations and think that this is a potential lead, but I know just as much as you do, you're frustrated when they come back and tell you that the lead's not actually qualified. Yet you should have probably already known that in most cases before you even sent it off. So are you actually pre-qualifying? Are you creating quality versus quantity? Okay. The third thing is lead follow-up. Are you treating your prospecting and your lead follow-up? I was sitting with a new licensee just the other day, and I said, to win the game of real estate, you have to truly treat your lead follow-up and prospecting as two separate things. Again, are you actually just calling back the same leads that you called on yesterday? Or are you creating new business and then are you doing lead follow-up? But one of the things that I want to state on the lead follow-up side, are you actually following up with intention? Or is it the conversation, hey, Rick, how are you? Just wanted to check in on you. Did you talk to the lender? Are you ready? That's not the conversation you guys should be having. It should be, hey, Rick, I just wanted to reach out to you. I know I got you over to the lender, and I just wanted to check to see how everything's coming along. Did you get the paperwork in, right? You should be having exact conversations, taking notes on your conversations. I often got told, and still do at times, that I'm the pit bull with lipstick when it comes to lead follow-up. Well, it's because I want people to feel, one, that I'm actually listening to them. Are you taking notes? Rick's laughing at me, you guys. Are you taking notes? Are you knowing exactly what the conversation was, right? And being able to then turn to them and actually going to the call with intention to create it into an actual appointment. I'm not just going, hey, how are you? And hoping that it's going to turn into an appointment. I'm actually going with intention of setting an appointment, getting that next appointment in front of me. Okay. The next skill set that I think agents need to focus on, and I think has become more critical than it's ever become on both the listing and the buying side of it. How good are you at presenting? How good are you at presenting? You guys, in today's market, let's just be honest, and more than ever, a seller thinks they can sell it on their own. Are you able to negotiate with them and help them understand how much money they could possibly lose by doing that and not having your services? That you actually can help them net the most money? Are you presenting and giving a high qualified presentation where there's actual value to them, that they can see that it makes sense to use you so that they don't lose money, right? Instead of just thinking that they only are going to net more money for their bottom line, can you help them see how you can help them net more money for your bottom line based on the value you present to them? On the buying side of things, you guys, we have to present to the selling agent. It is a critical process right now. Don't expect that you're just going to be able to send in an offer and think that there's a chance that it's going to get expected. I was sitting with a couple of our agents last night, and one of our agents, she said, you have to become the seller's agent's best friend. And it's true, right? Are you presenting to the seller's agent? Are you giving a true presentation to them to why they should choose your buyer over the other 42 offers they've already received today? Okay, so making sure that your presentation skills are where they need to be. Again, it goes back to, are you practicing? Okay, and then the last key element, and I know that this is a fun one, but one of the things that I will say in today's market more than ever, remove your ego. You have to remove your ego. It is critical right now in today's market that we remove our egos, that we put our clients' needs and wants in front of everything, right? That we're making sure that they are capable of actually getting their offers accepted, or that we're making sure that we're protecting them and only letting them do what they feel comfortable in doing. Okay, remove the ego, you guys. There's so many things that I've dealt with recently that I've had to make sure with my coaching clients is, are you checking that ego at the door? Are you also that agent, right, who needs to make sure that you're checking your ego? So making sure that you're doing those things. So with that being said, you guys, one of the things, again, I just would encourage you to do is I want you to reevaluate your business for first quarter. I want you to ask yourself, are you effectively prospecting? Are you efficiently prospecting? Are you following up, right? Like you should be on a consistent basis. As George and John would always say, the 4 things that we should be doing in our schedule every day that are income producing activities. You have not done your job if you are not practicing, if you are not prospecting, if you're not doing your lead follow-up, and you're not presenting to some level, whether it's a buyer or a seller. Are you actually doing those 4 things every single day? Or are you allowing the distractions? Then it's a whole other conversation like Alex and I were having. Is it your discipline to your schedule? Are you running a schedule, or are you letting people run yours? Okay, there's ways in which you guys can do that. I know I've done a training on it. You can go back and watch it. However, get with the brokers, the managers, your coaches, and ask them for help on your schedule. But one thing that I just want to leave off with, you guys, because you are going into the last week. So I know it's Friday. I know we're, just trying to get everything closed up for this week, but I want you to start thinking ahead of time. Because just like it is in the quarters, right? Fourth quarter, we prepare for first quarter. First quarter, we prepare for second quarter. I want you to think about what you're doing this week is preparing you for the start of your second quarter. Next week is your last official week, full week of first quarter. And so one of the things that I'm going to show it to you because it is right upside up. But one of the things that I've always done is and it's something that George taught me early on when I first started working for the company. Every week on Monday, I'm taking out a 3x5 card. I've taught this to some of my coaching clients. It is fun. It's visual. It keeps it in front of you on a daily basis. So if we're reevaluating that business plan, like we talked about in the beginning, and I'm looking at where my sources of business are coming from, and I'm paying attention to that, and I'm making sure my effective prospecting is actually going towards where that business is, because obviously that's where I'm pulling business from, right? Then there's certain things that you will need to do. So I want you to take out a piece of paper. If you don't have a 3x5 card in front of you now, I want you to get it before Monday starts, okay? And I want you to take out a 3x5 card, and I want you to write this down every single Monday. I want you to set your intentions that this 3x5 card goes with you wherever you're at. Okay, so first and foremost, how many contacts are you going to make in a week? But more importantly, how many contacts are you going to make in a day? The second thing, how many appointments will you set? You guys, it's one thing to say, okay, I got to make this many contacts to set this many appointments, right? Because then with those numbers, we know our skill set and our ability to set appointments. However, this whole card is about setting intentions. Don't go a week without setting your intentions. We all know the power of intention, right? What we focus on is what we attract. Okay, so how many appointments are you going to set? Be real with yourself. How many listing appointments versus buyer appointments are you going to set? How many listing appointments do you need to set to be able to convert a listing for yourself? Okay, so how many contacts, how many set? How many held appointments will you be doing? The fourth thing, how many hours are you actually going to work each day? You guys, this is not just for your business, but are you running, again, an efficient schedule where you can actually determine, even in today's market, how many hours I'm going to work, that I'm going to have that balance in life. As we always talk about, you have this art of fulfillment, but you have this art of success, and you have to determine your schedule to be able to have both right now, especially in today's market. Okay. And then how many hours will you spend in lead follow-up? And then the last one, or I would say for me, it's how many price reductions will you get? And you guys, if you have a price reduction you need to get in today's market, 100% guarantee your listing is overpriced. Okay. But how many price reductions? Let's just put it down there, because if it's not, and if it was a normal market, that's something you want to be paying attention to on a weekly basis. And then the last thing would be how many what system am I going to focus on this week? You guys, it is critical that you're paying attention to your systems and your structures. I can't tell you how many experienced agents that I coach right now where we're just getting them dialed in because their foot's on the gas pedal and because they have so much business going on right now, and it's great, and they know who I'm speaking to, right? At the same time, don't let that foot off the gas pedal. And what I mean by that is, because your systems aren't in place, a lot of agents will tend to let their foot off the gas pedal because they don't have a system set up that they're making sure that those just listed postcards are going out, or those just listed phone calls are being made, or those just sold calls, or for sell by owners, expireds. Make sure you have your systems in place so that it literally is click of the button and I have postcards going out at the same time I'm still prospecting and doing what I need to do to produce that income. Take advantage of the market. I will just say this again. Get this 3x5 card. Have it in front of you at all times during the week. Check it off, tally it. Have you actually set the appointments that you said you were going to set? You know, I have one in front. Mine's a little bit bigger now, but it's in front of me, and I have it where I actually will kind of check things off to make sure I'm hitting my contacts in my set. So are you doing that on a weekly basis? Are you keeping to the, as George will always say, the fundamentals never change, and able to have the success that we want and to take advantage of today's market, you guys, because it is a great market. Yes, it's hard, but it is a great market. You're going to have to work more efficiently and effectively, as Alex said, right? It takes more discipline in today's market than it's ever taken before. So I encourage you today, a few things to look at. Reevaluate your business. Take the weekend. As you're going into second quarter, take this last full week to prepare for the second quarter, but take the weekend to reevaluate your business. Number two, I would say, look at your schedule. Are you running an efficient schedule? Okay. And then number 3, pay attention to those numbers that were those things that we talked about today. Are you officially effectively prospecting? Are you doing lead follow-up? Are you perfecting those skill sets, practice, and, making sure that you're actually doing your presentation? And then the last thing, I'm going to encourage all of you today, go get a 3x5 card. Put your intentions in front of you on a weekly basis. Make sure these things are in front of you so that you're not losing track. This should be the first thing you're looking at every single morning, right? How many contacts am I going to set today? How many set am I going to get? Am I on track for this week? Make sure that you're paying attention to your numbers, you guys. There is so much power in the numbers. I used to be that coaching client who hated tracking my numbers and fought my coach for months on end. But what I will tell you is it'll tell you exactly where your skill sets will need it to be, where, the Ricks, the Rubies, the Alexes, the Amelias, and, Lewis, and everybody can help you succeed, is track these things. Bring them into your coaching session so we can help you get better so that you can be that professional and not just another real estate agent in today's market. Because trust me, you won't survive if you're just trying to be a real estate agent. I promise you that. Be the professional that you all are. I know I'm talking to the choir because you're all on this call, so thank you so much. And again, thank you for letting me be with you guys today. I appreciate it. Let's go ahead and close out with some affirmations.